Hello my friends and welcome back to new video. In this video I'm going to show you how to implement onboarding screen with animations just like this. We had this splash screen and now from this splash screen we are going to this onboarding screen. It has animations, text and the page indicator, and by scrolling you can see the changes here in the page indicator. And also in the last screen, the buttons down below will be changed to a single button, outline button, to go to the home screen. And you can see the function of the buttons as well. And now when I'm pressing the get started, the app will go to the home screen. Let's learn it. In the last video, we built together this application to learn how to implement animated splash screen. And now I'm going to continue working on this project. So I will change the animation file and also the text that was written down below. And finally, we will continue with the other stuff. I mean this text and this animation. Okay, let me explain what I have done before I start recording. Here we had only this animation file in the raw folder for the splash screen, and I have added 3 more animations for the onboarding and this one for the splash screen. And in the main activity in the graph, I have added this home screen, and now we have the home screen as well. And in the home screen, we have only a box with a text to show that we are inside the home screen. So we don't need it anymore. Let's start from the splash screen and change the animation to a splash. And also the text. Let's make an app. We'll be changing to let's travel. And I'm going to change this font size to 52 and font weight to light. I think it's good. Let's test it. Okay, now we have the changes. Let's travel and this animation as the splash screen. And we have to implement now the logic for the onboarding screen. Okay. And in the build.gradle, I have added this line of code for the pager dependency. Add it and sync the project, and then we are ready to use it. Okay, let's go to the onboarding screen. And here we have 3 arrays I have created, one for animations, the other one for the titles, and the other one for the descriptions. And on the top of the page, we have the pager with animation and title and description. And below it, we have the page indicator. So we need a column to hold the pager and the page indicator outside of the pager, because when we are scrolling the page, we don't want to see that the page indicator also is going to the other pages. It should remain in the middle of the screen. Okay, fill max size and horizontal alignment center horizontally. And here we need a horizontal pager and we need the state for this. As the state, I'm going to create here a value calling it pager state requires to remember pager state, not with this, with parentheses, and here page count equals to the size of one of these lists, no matter which one you use, because all of them are equal in size. That means this pager will have 3 pages. And let me check the import. Pager. It should not be this because we have added the dependency. We should use this one, accompanist, and for this as well, import accompanist and opt it. This one we don't use, and this one also we don't use, and that's it. So this one and this one are the imports for the horizontal pager and for remember pager state. And now I'm going to pass the pager state here into the state of the horizontal pager. Then let's have a modifier here. As the modifier, we need wrap content size. So that's it here. And inside of the body of the horizontal pager, we are going to create our layout. Let me create a variable here, current page, and it will give us the number of the page, the index of the page that we are currently inside of it. So we need another column, and this one also, wrap content size, and a padding of 26.dp, importing the dp, and that's it here. So horizontal alignment, alignment center horizontally, and vertical arrangement, let's have them center as well. Okay, and now in the body of this column we need to add the animation on the top, then 2 text. So for the Lottie animation we need composition, remember Lottie composition, and as the spec we need Lottie composition spec dot raw resource, and inside of this I'm going to pass animations, and the index will be current page. One more import and done. Lottie animation. The composition will be this, we don't need the progress. Instead of the progress, we are going to use iteration. Iterations will be Lottie constants dot iterate forever, and finally again a modifier dot size 400.dp, and in the next line we need the first text. The text will be titles, then the current page as a text, and we need to do some changes. Here first we need the text align and text align center, then font size maybe 44.sp, importing the sp, then font weight and bold. That's whatever we need for this text, and let's copy and paste it down below. Okay, descriptions and center, font size 20, and we don't need the font weight. After this we need a modifier and a padding from top, can be 45.dp, and that's it. Okay, the pager should work now properly. Let's check it now. Okay, here we have the splash screen, and after a while it should go to the onboarding. Yeah, we are in the onboarding screen. As you can see, the animation works perfectly. We have the title and the description, and I can scroll the page to see the other page, and the pager works perfectly. Now we need to add the page indicator here and the logic for the buttons. Let's go forward. Okay, as the page indicator, as I said, we want to have it inside of this column and outside of the outside of this horizontal page. So here is the best place for this. Page indicator. And we have to build it ourselves. There are a lot of libraries on the internet, but I didn't want to use the libraries because this is the great advantage of the Jetpack Compose, that you can build whatever you want by yourself. So let's create a page indicator by ourselves. So we need to pass to this composable function the page count and animations dot size. Then the current page equals to pager state dot current page, and finally a modifier a padding of 60 dp, and let's create this function. Okay, now inside of this page indicator we need a row because we have the dots and the scroll in the middle, uh, just like in a row. For the row, let's have horizontal arrangement, space between, and vertical alignment. Or let's skip this, we don't need it really. Modifier equals to this modifier that we passed here, and we are going to create a layout for it in another composable function, and we have to repeat it 3 times because we have 3 dots. Actually, repeat it equal to page count. If you have like 5 pages, 4 pages, that's why we are passing this page count here. So repeat and page count, that means 3 times, and in the body of it we are going to create another composable function, and I'm going to pass a boolean to it. We should have 2 types because let me show it to you here on the emulator. We are talking about this. When it's selected, it should be like larger and highlighted. When it's not selected, it should be a circle with low opacity of the color. So it's like that. And after scrolling, it should be changed with the animation. So we need to pass this data. If it's selected or not selected, and in the final layout that we will implement inside of this indicator composable function, we will write the codes based on this boolean. So for this, equals to it, and we are passing the current page to it to change the state of this boolean. Now let's create this, actually not, let's control Z, we should not import it here. Outside of this, outside composable, and let's change the name of it. indicator single dot. Okay, we have this function here. Now we want to create a layout of it. I'm going to use a box inside of this layout, and we will just change the background color of this box, and that's it, and the size of the box, and the shape of it will be rounded corner shape. So let's have a box here, and we need a modifier. Starting with the padding between because it will be let's say repeated 3 times by this function, so we need the space between the dots. I'm talking about this space, so it can be 2 dps. Then it needs a height. The height all the time is constant, and as you can see the height of them is constant, and no matter in which page we are. So as the height, I'm going to pass 15 dot dp. We need the width, and let's create a value for this because we have to check if it's selected or it's not selected, and this is the main difference in the shape. Equals to animate dp as a state. Okay, the target value is if is selected, it will be 35 dot dp, and else 15 dp, and the label can be empty string. So I'm going to pass it here, the value of it actually. So if it's selected, it will be a large size, and if it's not selected, it will be a small size. So 15 width and 15 height will make it a round circle. Dot clip circle shape, and finally the color of it, the background. Again we will check if is selected, it should be highlighted, so we need the color. Let me copy and paste the color code. Okay, we have the color code, and for the else, the same color. But in this case, I'm going to click on this and change the opacity of this color to this much, and I think it's good. Let's check it on the emulator if it works. Okay, we have the page indicator, and as you can see, based on the page, the shape of it will change and it remains constant in the middle of the screen, and when we are scrolling, it doesn't move. Okay, so let's go to the last part, the buttons down below here. Outside of this column in the main body of this screen, let's create a buttons section, a composable function, and we need the pager state here, then the nav controller, and finally we need the context, but later we will pass it to it. For now, let's create this, and okay, let's have a box here. We need to have it fill max size and a padding 30.dp. Okay, and in the body of it we will have if statement to check in which page we are. And let me show you in the example again one more time. When we are in the first page and the second page, we should see this back and next, and when we are in the last page it should be changed to this. So the layout depends on the page state. Let's check if the pager state dot current page equals to, or it's not equal to 2. The index will be starting from 0, 1 to 2. In this case, that we have 3 pages. So the last page index number will be 2. Okay, if we are not in second page, third page with index 2, let's say, we will display 2 text as the button for back and for the next here. So let's have that. The first text, the text will be next, and we need a modifier, dot align alignment. The next should be in the bottom end here, and dot clickable. So when we click it, we want to go to the next page. Later we will implement the logic here for the click, and we need the same for the other side. Yeah. It takes back, and here start instead of end. Let's check them. Okay, we have it here and here, but the sizes are not suitable to the screen. We should do some changes in the sizes of them. Okay, here is the modifier. After the modifier, I'm going to add the font size, maybe 22.sp, and font weight bold, and the color black is good. And let's have them for the second one. The time of the splash is so long, you have to decrease it a bit. Okay, we have the buttons and it's good. Now let's go to the splash screen to change the times. Let's have it maybe 3 seconds and this one 2.5. Okay. So if you are not in the last page, we have these two buttons, and after this we need the else, and we need the outline button here. Outlined button. We need a text for it, and as the text we have to write that we want to start the process. Get started. Let's have whatever we have here for that button as. I think it's good. And for the on-click of this, we should go to the next screen, which will be the home screen. So nav controller dot pop backstack, then dot nav controller dot navigate to the home screen. What was the name of it? Home. Okay. And that's it. And for the button, we had a background. So let's have a modifier here. Fill max width, and the position of it is align bottom center, and finally let's change the color here. Button defaults dot button colors, and here container color, And let's have the same color with the indicator, but let's have this one with higher opacity. Okay, it's done. Let's check it. Okay, next. And back doesn't have a still logic, but when I'm scrolling at the last page, I will see this get started, and by pressing it, we are in the home screen. By pressing back, the app will close. Okay. Now let's implement the logic for going to the next pages here. Inside of this clickable and this clickable. Let's start here with having a val, calling it the scope equals to remember coroutine scope, and I'm going to use it here. A scope dot launch, and another value calling it next page equals to pager state dot current page plus 1. Okay, so when we are pressing this button, we'll create this value, and finally the pager state dot scroll to page, and we are going to pass this next page here. Then simply the horizontal pager will jump to page number next page, and we'll do the same for this. But here we have to check. First, we have to change it to -1, and okay, the value of it cannot be negative. It shouldn't be lower than 0. So we have to check it. How many times the user pressed it, and it's still equal or higher than 0, or it's negative already. Then we should implement this. Otherwise, the app will crash. So here we will check if this next, I'm going to change it to preview. So if preview page is greater or equal to 0, we will jump to the preview page, and that's it. For the else, we will not do anything. Let's check it. Okay, here we have the next and the next, and let's check the back, and the back works. And how many times I'm pressing the back doesn't affect on this when we are in the first page. So after get started, we are going to the home screen, and we cannot go back to the onboarding screen anymore. But whenever we are opening the application after the splash screen, directly it goes to the onboarding screen. but the logic of the onboarding screen is to see it the first time after installing the application. So after the first time, after we finish the onboarding, we shouldn't see it anymore. So we have to implement a logic for it. And also from the splash screen, we should have two directions. If it's first time, it should go to the onboarding. If it's not first time, it should go to the home screen directly, not to the onboarding. So let's go to the splash screen and implement the logic for this here in the splash screen. We had a delay here, and after this delay, we had these two lines of code to go from this screen to the onboarding screen. So here we have to check in which screen, we have to check this is the first time that we are here or not. For this, we need to use the shared preferences to save the state of this page here. So I'm going to create a function here, onboarding is finished, and we have to check it. So I'm going to use the shared preferences here. So val shared preferences this one here equals to here we need to pass the context, and let's pass it from the main activity to this screen. We need it in the onboarding and in the splash here. Context equals to this main activity, and the same here in the onboarding. Just add them there. In the splash screen, we have to pass the context here. We need it main activity, and here context dot get shared preferences, and we need a key, and shared preferences dot get boolean. Here we need the key and the default value. The default value will be false, and here maybe is finished. Okay, then we will check it on the top here. So if onboarding is finished, and here we need to pass the context. The context will be this, that we pass it from the main activity. And okay, if the value is false, that means this is the first time that we are in the application. Okay, so in this case we have to go to the onboarding, and if the value is true, we should go to the home screen. So here nav controller dot pop backstack nav controller dot navigate to home, else and that's it. Okay, we are done here in the splash screen, and let me copy this function. We need to load the value inside of this shared preference in the onboarding screen when the process is done and the onboarding is done. So we need to come here, and we will not return this till here will be the same, and we have to do some changes here now. So we need another value, calling it editor equals to shared preferences dot edit, then editor dot put boolean this time, and with the same name, is finished. Then the value should be true. So the default value in the splash screen was false, but here in the onboarding screen, after we finish the process, we will change this value to true, and that's it. So here we had this outlined button. When we are clicking on this, we are going to this home. So we just need to call this function here, and we should pass a context to it, equals to context, and yes, this context comes from this, and here we pass the context here, and on the top the context comes from the main activity. That's it. Everything looks clear. Let's check it on the emulator. This is the splash screen, and we are in the home screen because this is not the first time that we installing the application. Let me go and uninstall the app, and let's install it again. Okay, this is the first time after the installation, and we are going to the onboarding screen, and everything works perfect. Get started. We are in the home, and let me close it, and here we should search for it. This one should be. And as you can see, second time it goes directly to the home screen. And that was whatever I wanted to tell you about the onboarding screen. So if you are satisfied of this video, please give me a thumbs up to give me energy to make more videos for you. If you are first time here, please hit the subscribe button to be aware about new videos and join our community. Thank you very much for your support. If you have any comment, any question, any suggestion, write them down below, and I will be so happy to read and answer them. Have a good time. Bye bye.